I got a feeling that you got me covered too. I got you covered. I got you covered.
Hi everybody, how's everybody doing? This is just an impromptu live. Um I kind of had a daydreaming kind of day. I did get some work done, which is good. The devotions have just not come out yet. That probably won't happen for a little bit, and that's okay. I've just had this day where it's kind of like it's a Monday, and I just like okay. And I thought, you know what? How many of us have just had a daydreaming kind of day? Whatever it may be. Hi, Shell. How are you? You kind of had those days where you kind of don't feel like doing anything. You've just kind of watched movies, which is exactly what I have done today. I've just felt like I have worked on the computer because I was trying to get ahead of the thumbnails for the devotions, which I have. And just as a little side note, it has I'm doing good. I'm glad you're doing good too. Um, it is much easier to work on these thumbnails from the standpoint of the way we're doing them. So last night I thought of going live and I thought I need to finish this project up because I don't want to come back to it. And so I did. That's what I did. I was actually up till about 2:30 in the morning, which is probably why I feel like I just wanted to nap and rest all day. So I did. I actually just spent the day. I've gotten ahead of the game with the devotionals, which I'm glad because I think it's going to be beneficial to be ahead of them. I'm not behind. And so that's what I've done is just so okay, let's get ahead of the game. And I just thought I've been in this just kind of daydream, kind of watch movies and just kind of recouped a little bit while getting some things done. I've been productive a little bit. I haven't gotten to crochet yet, which is what I need to do later on this evening. I cannot believe it's already 6 o'clock. I'm like, where did the day go? So just been relaxing and just chilling. Hi, Brazy girl. How I have no control. I wish, Brazy, I had control of the notifications. I have no control over those. Those go up as YouTube decides they want to put them on up. I wish they would do better, but thank you for bringing in the sunshine. Every time I see you, I think she's bringing in that sunshine. But thank you, Shell and Brazy Girl, for showing on up. And whoever else is in the chat, thank you for showing on up. That's what we're doing. So I've just kind of had one of those days where it's just been like, okay, let's just take it easy and get ahead of the thumbnails, and which has been so much easier because I can just pop the pictures right in the thumbnail and move on to the next one, use the same one for both of them and move on. So I've gotten more accomplished in thumbnails today than I have in trying to spend like a half an hour to 45 minutes doing one thumbnail for the devotions, but we haven't gotten to Mom and I doing our devotion yet today because it's just been one of those days. It's been like, we really have to do anything. Like, okay, I have no idea what to talk about, so we're just going to come on and chit chat. And I really want to get people to get the concept of what we're talking about. And when we say crocheting connection, I have to thank Lewis Acre Karma for that. Hi, Stats. How are you? I have to thank Lewis Acre Karma for that because she was a pivotal person for what she said when she said that. And I cannot thank her enough because it's really changed how I've looked at it. Because I used to say, you don't have to crochet. So if you're not connected with her channel, get connected. You don't have to crochet to be a part of Less to Crochet because we really don't focus on crocheting, do we? And That's very true. We don't do that. But she just said on her live, she's like, "You know what? Let's go ahead and," she said, you are everybody is crocheting." And I'm like, and I took a moment, I had to think about that one for a second, and I'm like, "Okay," and I said, "Explain that." And she did, and I was like, "Okay, that's awesome." And it is so it is so true when, you know, you think of it, because it is exactly what we're doing. We are crocheting connection. Crochet a net on my thumb. It warms me up. I love it. So we do crochet, whether you realize it or not. You guys are coming in here and crocheting all the time. You're making those connections, and it is so important. So I changed how we had the description to say, instead of saying, nobody, "Hi, Carrie, how are you? Welcome on in." You know, you don't have to, know how to crochet. You just have to want to be a part of the community. And so we have changed it to say this: crochet connection. What we do here is crochet connection. You don't see all those links dropping in the thing. They're there to create connection. Crochet connection for the purpose of making connections. No, sorry. We crochet connections to make a beautiful tapestry of connection for the purpose of love and peer support. That is our mission statement. And I love it, because it's exactly what you all are doing. You are crocheting. Hi, Resilient Queen. How are you, hun? You are doing it when you come in. These are communities that are being built. And we are connecting. And there's some amazing people that I have met because I have done it. My biggest advice to anybody who is thinking about starting a YouTube channel or has a YouTube channel, and they're saying, "Well, you know what? I'm in the ballpark of, like, for us, crochet," which we're not, but just roll with me for a minute. Go along the path for a second. With the thought pattern of, "I'm going to crochet," right? Well, if you stay in that niche of crochet, you're going to stay exactly there. The way in order to make your circle and your comfort circle bigger is to step on out of it, which means you got to go into other channels beside crochet. You have to, I'm in homesteading channels, I'm in fishing channels, I'm in ways to improve yourself on YouTube. I'm in so many different niches. I'm not staying in there. And when you have connection as your niche, you're really open to a lot. But I really am sitting there thinking, the biggest advice that I could say to anybody is, don't stay in there. Find every live chat opportunity you can find, even if you're somebody that doesn't. And Blessings Through Connection is our other channel. And that is one that we're just placing, and I've got to get back to doing that, and I will. We're putting playlist on there, so you guys can go over to that channel and find some amazing channels through playlist on there. We don't like to put anybody else's playlist on our channels, except if we're doing a collaboration, because in that way people can go there and then they play our content and we get credit for our content. There's not a confusion there. Another thing for anybody that is coming in that has a channel, please hook up with Tuber Chat. I can't say enough about them and Kevin and the family. It is amazing. If you want to grow and do that, expand on your connection, hook in with Tuber Chat. It is amazing. You're going to find people that are going to be there to support you. And I have learned so much about through Kevin. Another thing too, if you guys are sharing somebody's content, I did not know this and I've started doing it. If you are sharing their content, and you guys that don't have channels, or you do have channels, either way, You have a lot of power, whether you realize it, to be able to spread your favorite content creator out there for other people to see and get exposed to. Go to their playlist and find the video that you would like to share and take it from that playlist. The purpose and the reason for that is if you share the same video from the regular lives or videos or whatever, or if you go to their playlist and share it, there's a different link that comes up with their playlist. And that means when you drop that someplace and somebody watches that specific video, it's going to go over to the next video in the playlist, and they may watch more than just one. So it's just something to think about when you think about the playlist happening. I don't know why that's doing that. Usually my Mary Blessed to Crochet is purple. Every once in a while that does that. So I'm just going to leave it that way today because we're in a daydreaming kind of mood, right? So, you guys have the power of exposing, your content creator to other people, but if you can share the same video that you would have from what you regularly see, go to the playlist and see if one of their playlists and see if you can find it, and then share it from that playlist because it'll give a different link. And then when the person's done watching, it'll hop into the next one on the playlist. Just something I didn't know that. I learned that from Tuber Chat. So, the unbelievable power of community is just something to me. I think that I'm going to be doing some more research a little bit on that, because I think that it's important to learn how community, if you go to certain areas of the world, there's people and they live in the close proximity to each other. There's different cultures than we have now. We go into our garage doors, we pop open our garage doors, we put in our car and we say hi and bye to our neighbors and we walk in our house. And we're not getting to know our people next door. And if you are in a situation where this has become a community for you, or part of your community along with your actual place where you're living community, then that's an amazing thing to be able to help build that. And, we can build it together. We can crochet that tapestry of connection. It is so, so important. It is part of your mental health. I think, hi, Selena, how are you? I think that some people forget the importance of what connection really does and how it helps our mental state in so many ways. I can tell you, I know where my daydreaming funk is right now. I'm in a funk. I fully admit it. I am. And I'm trying real hard to get out of it. I'm just really struggling. And on YouTube, they have something done. They're talking about diversive community. How can we incorporate them into our community? I think that we look at everybody and we welcome them in. Resilient Queen, it's why we do our devotions separate from it's why we separate them. And we separate our devotions from our live streams. I try when people come in here to say, not everybody has the same belief system and views, and it's okay. There are friends amongst this chat that I love dearly, and I'm grateful that they're in my life. And I want to be respectful of that. My job is not to sit here telling them how they should live. Y'all be going to find another channel, and you would absolutely 100% be absolutely ready to say, I'm out of here. And I wouldn't blame you. I do the same exact thing. It is why we felt how do we do what we feel is important by having the devotions, and people have I've gotten a lot of positive feedback, but we still can keep a fine line when people come in this chat. We're respectful. We do not bash anybody else in this chat. It is a safe place. We do not allow bashing of content creators. It is not going to happen here. We want this to become a safe place. Now, I've had people who I know are living a Christian lifestyle, and they've come in, they've made a comment. I may or may not agree with it. I tend to not put those on the screen during a live. It's not that I'm trying to be disrespectful to their belief system, but I also know that for some, it can be triggering, and I don't want to trigger my friends. I want them to come in here and feel like this is a safe place. If you want to go watch the devotions, you may go watch the devotions. But in these live streams, it is so important to me that people are chatting and people are communicating in the live stream, and they're having a connection happening. I don't want anybody to ever feel alone. And there has been times where people, the chat doesn't move, and I'm just grateful for people talking and connecting with each other. I'm thrilled to death. I get through. I'm like, oh, I love it. And I've just had and I didn't think I was doing anything. And I had a couple people reach out to me and said, "Mary, I may not be chatting, but believe me, you're so I appreciate you so much because you're coming on here, you're talking. I may not be participating, but you're an important part of my day." And I thought, thank you. I needed to know that. I needed to know that I was doing something that was something. And there is a gentleman that I found the other night, and I'm going to drop his link if I can remember which one it was. Yeah, I remember now. I think I will find it. He actually shared my post yesterday. And I was really impressed with this young man. And he said he's trying to watch. I give him a lot of credit too, because he was sitting there he was trying to watch as many people as he could. He said, I won't ever, as I get bigger, I'm never going to be able to do all of this. But he said, I'm going to sure give it a hearty try and watch as many people and subscribe to them and support them as I can. And I just thought, you know what? He was just so uplifting last night, and how he was, talking with people and trying to help people. And I was really impressed. And to me, those are people I want to lift up and show off. Here it is. I'll get it, put it in the chat. We're all about connection, and we're not going to stop being about connection. I'm in Facebook and YouTube. We're all about connection. It is the cornerstone of, I think there's a lot of people out there suffering in silence. I really do. And I'm going to be really honest. I've really been struggling for the past couple of, probably about a week and a half, 2 weeks, somewhere along that line. I've been really struggling. And I have really tried to keep pressing forward. And if I'm going to be honest with me, I am. And I'm trying to get out of this headspace. My headspace is doing something other than what my heart, I guess, is doing something other than my headspace. I really have had to fight not crawling in a corner. That's all I've wanted to do. I don't really want to wake up in the morning. For those that don't know, my aunt has been diagnosed with stage 4 liver and lung cancer, and I'm not trying to get sympathy from anybody. I'm just thankful to be here and be a part of the connection happening. She's under hospice, and she's having trouble eating, and I don't know when the shoe's going to drop. And I don't like the feeling. I'm just sitting there going, okay. I'm really, really struggling. For those that don't know, that are new, I have fibromyalgia. So boy, does that just mess with your fibromyalgia brain. It's just like, okay, when you have stress as a fibromyalgia patient, you experience more pain. Your body hurts more. And so my body's been in more pain because it's dealing with that. And I am I just can't get out of my own way with it. And I'm trying. When we don't know when we're going to take our last breath, guys. Love the people that you're around, hug them, give them all the love in the world. We don't know when we're leaving this world. But when you know somebody is going to, and you're just waiting for that call, it is so hard. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's a silent killer. And so I've been in this funk, and I'm sitting there going, I'm just working through it. I have my therapist to talk to. And I know what I need to say in my head. Mary, you cannot live for the next 2 or 3 months, if that's even that long of what she has left, thinking to yourself, I'm waiting for the phone call. I know that headspace, but heart-wise, it's not there. So I know that the tool for that is to come and get connected. And I've been in my phone, I've been connecting in chats, and I'm telling you, I am meeting so many new people. I still love the OGs of this page. I'm so grateful for them in this channel. And there's certain people that will always have a very special place in this girl's heart. But I've really found out that I've really enjoyed really saying, okay, let's do this again. Let's get in there. Let's connect. That's how I found Resilient Queen. I was going through, where are the lives? Where's the community? Where's the chats? Where can I connect with people? I'm very glad we did too. I am super glad we did. And welcome to Blessed to Crochet. I often say that you are the blessings behind Blessed to Crochet. For those that don't know, this is not my channel. This is my mama's channel. She's just not in the camera kind of person, even though I make her come on the devotions on Mondays. I needed the connection, and all the monetization and the super chats, all that stuff goes to mama. I don't get any of it. I don't want any of it. I have to have the connection. And I have to remind myself, Mary, you got to get in front of the connection. If you noticed, I took down the disco balls, and I don't know if you can see these. I thought they would come up better on screen. But do you see that? They're almost like disco ball hearts. They have a little bit of like a disco ball thing. And for those that don't know, we have a saying here that a disco ball is a bunch of broken pieces put together to make a magical ball of light. You're not broken, you're a disco ball. And we call ourselves proud disco balls. And so I have had to say, you've got to be in front of your community. But I'm telling you, if you're trying to grow your channel, get in front of every live stream that you possibly can, because it is, I get it. Thank you, Shell. I get in front of them. If you're going through a difficult time, don't suffer in silence. Get in front of new people, whether you're trying to grow a channel or not. Get in front of those live streams. Get in front of the community. Get to know people. And realize in the process of doing that, you are going to meet people that you're not going to necessarily agree with everything. That's okay. Go back to our stream and watch Finding Common Ground. find the common ground first. It takes 200 hours to be able to make a connection with somebody. How much sillier things have we done with 200 hours? Right? So if we can build that, hi Kate, how are you? If we can build that, right? And we can go ahead and say, you know what? We can go ahead and build that common ground first. Then we're less likely to, we're going to find out what a cool individual they are first. Yep, absolutely. When stress goes up, self-care needs to go up as well. And absolutely. And I'm thankful for communities like the Lifeboat and communities like Relatable Reese. Oh, you know what? I have made the call today in the sense of,
Pause for a second.
hold on, guys, a minute. Camera's off. Mr. Blessed to Crochet is in there. I have made the call in the sense of realizing that I am not going to feel better for a while. I've made that call in my head and said, Mary, you're not going to feel better for a while. And you can't. This reminds me so much of losing my dad, because it was just kind of like we were waiting, and losing my grandfather at the same time, because my grandfather kind of stopped eating before he passed away too, a couple of days before. And my dad had dementia for 7 years, so you were just waiting. You just like, okay, this is kind of like that. And I'm like, we don't know how it's going to come down. She's in Florida. We're in Ohio. I'm grateful to my community for coming beside us as a community and helping to help to bring my aunt up here in August so that we could say our goodbyes to her. And I have that. And I'm forever grateful. And I am so sorry that you lost two of your sisters, or your aunt. Oh, that's terrible. Back to back. And for those that don't know, ones in the chat just mean, support and love and all that. Prayers, whatever you do, we want to be here to be able to support each other. That's the purpose of it. So make sure I don't end it. I have to realize that I'm not. I think trying to sit here and say, okay, I'm fine. Everything's fine. No, it's not. It's not. And I'm going to make it true. Another thing that is kind of in the background is that when you said resilient queen, you've lost that other aunt, both aunts back to back. It's kind of what I'm going to go through and have gone through when my other aunt passes away from cancer. I've kind of lost the other aunt because that aunt has decided that she no longer wants to talk to us for the past year and 10 months, or year and 2 months, which has been very difficult and unnecessarily stressful. So, and I agree, but I'm, again, out of respect, I don't put, they can be in the chat. I don't delete them, but I just don't put them on screen. And I appreciate everybody's understanding so that nobody feels triggered. It's hard when you get to there, because you're like, part of the problem is I don't know how we're going to hear the news. So it's like, how is the news going to come down? I'm concerned for her daughter, who's going to be kind of by herself. So, you know, one's however you do things, keep her in your thoughts. It's not easy. But if we sit here and say, oh, we're fine, if I came on here and just said, yeah, I'm fine, I'd be lying through my teeth. And that's not this girl, you know? But I know when I get off of here, I'm going to feel better because I've taken the time to connect with my friends and my community. And that's again why it is so important. I'm so sorry that you're going through so much sorrow and hardship, Mary. This is a difficult time. And I agree. I absolutely agree. Um, I It's okay not to feel good for a bit when you lose an important person in life. You can't help but take a pause or reflect. I'm going to do a stream on boundaries because I thought about it today, actually. And I thought I'm going to do a stream on boundaries because there's a side note to that. I want to go into a little bit more detail, but I thought about it today and I want to do it separate from this. But my aunt, God love her, but she has always kind of decided that she could step over the boundaries with me a little bit, and everybody else is kind of like, the boundaries are here, but let's just push them a little bit more. And when she came up here in August, I had a rocking chair. Sometimes I'll bring that rocking chair in this bedroom and I'll sit and crochet in the rocking chair and so forth. And we went to like a park with the fishing and so forth for Christina. And I brought my rocking chair with me. And she said to me, she goes, Mary, I want to sit in that rocking chair. Can I sit there? I said, no. It was an anniversary present from my husband. And I said, no. And she said, Mary, why not? Da, 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 da. And everybody else said, Mary, why? And I said, no, she can't sit in there. And I didn't really kind of understand why I said that. Because I thought to myself, well, I should have just let her sit in there. What was the big deal? It was because for a majority of my life, I've said this and she's pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed those boundaries. And I thought, no, you can't sit in there. That's my chair. And she's a smoker. And I thought, no, you can't. It's mine. You know what I mean? But it had nothing to do with the chair. It had everything to do with that's boundary. And for my entire life, you have spent most of your time when I have said no about something, pushing and pushing and pushing. I love you, but I'm going to stand up for myself because I'm not going to see you again to have the opportunity to stand up for myself. Why did she need to sit? It's important to you. It had nothing to do with the chair. It just had everything to do with the fact that you're pushing my boundary and I'm done and tired of you pushing my boundary like that. So I thought she's a good example of somebody that has pushed my boundaries. And it's been very difficult to actually stand up to them. But I thought we'll do a stream sometime this week about pushing that, when somebody kind of pushes your boundaries like that, how do you handle it? And I just said to her, and I said, because I have first of all, I didn't want her sitting in my chair. That was just, it wasn't happening. But I said, because I have this beautiful, wonderful chair. And I did. And I've got this footstool for you. And the rocking chair is kind of low, right? And I said, and you can be a queen for a minute. And that kind of turned her away. Now I've let my daughter sit in the chair. But I don't know, it was just something about, again, you've pushed that boundary. No, and it wasn't like, no, okay, I respect that. It was no, but. And I was like, can we not do this again? You know what I mean? So yep. And I thought to myself later, I thought, man, Mary, you should just let her sit in the chair. And I'm like, no, it had nothing to do with the chair. when we're kind of feeling no is a complete sentence. Oh, we should do a stream on that, don't you think? I love that. Too many people in this world, honestly, to goodness gracious, are sitting here with this smile going, I'm fine. Everything's fine. And then they are falling apart inside. I when I got involved in YouTube like this, it was late December 2023. When I really even started to kind of get into chats and all that kind of stuff and participate, it was April of 2023. I'm not someone that's just a spring chicken in the sense of I should have known. I always thought YouTube was a place to just go for videos, just watch videos and, be all in that. And it became a community really, really quick for me. And I was like, how did I not know about this? And then, thanks to the lifeboat, if you're not connected with the lifeboat, get over there. And I was just sitting there and I was like, wow, how did I not know about this? Started participating in the live chats and participating in those and building the family. And it wasn't until my aunt was diagnosed with cancer where I sat there and I thought, okay. And then there was somebody from the boat who was actually over in Australia and who, thank God for her. I don't know what I would have done because between that and between the passing comes of both my grandfather and my dad, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and then all the other stuff with the other relative, I was waking up with panic attacks in the middle of the night. If you have panic attacks, they're a bunch of fun during the day, but you don't want them in the middle of the night. And so I would have about 2 or 3 and thinking, I'm never going to go back to sleep again. And then I would, message her and we would talk for about an hour and I could go back to sleep. I don't know what I would have done without her. And I just thought, I'm going to turn on the computer. If you go back to our first live, man, it was pitiful with the thing in the back and so forth. And I'm like, but I'm so glad I flipped that button and hit that big red button. I thought, I don't really have a lot to say. But I have lived a life of a lot of challenges. I've raised an autistic individual who is amazing. She's beautiful. I deal with fibromyalgia. I've dealt with a dad with dementia. I've dealt with addicts in my family. I've dealt with an abusive relationship. I've been a single mother. I've had a second marriage. I mean, all this stuff that happened, I've got a lot of stuff and in my life and that I've had to go through. And I've come out stronger on the other side. And I've been on that couch where I've totally been by myself. Totally. And I didn't have something like this when I was raising my daughter, wanting to pull my hair out because I'm like, nobody, there's nobody there for me. My family was there for me, but Mary, you're an amazing soul. I'm a single mom too. I'm proud of you and I'm excited to hear your testimony. I will be glad to absolutely do that one time. I think if I have to do my testimony, I have to do it in 2 different ways. I have to do, and I want people to understand this. Understand that this channel was rippled off of, and we're ripples of the lifeboat. We were rippled off of the lifeboat. So there's a lot of people that have come from there to here, and they have become dear friends. And there are people that are also have come out of, things like Scientology and so forth. And the religious aspect can be also divisive as well as triggering. And I have no problem telling my testimony, but I probably do it in a way that would be a recorded video so that people can go in and check it out. Oh, you have to. You have to go check out the lifeboat. Amazing group of people. And when I did the lifeboat, I thought, I don't need the lifeboat. I'm not an addict, but I have an issue with food addiction. And when I don't keep mint chocolate chip ice cream in the house, I wouldn't begin to think about keeping it in the house right now because I want to run right to it every time I think about it. It's a great way to cover up the pain. You don't have to deal with it. Swiss cake rolls are wonderful. And they're not in the house right now for dang on sure because they would not be here for very long. I get them, I enjoy them, and then I don't have them for a while. So, you know, the 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 purpose of community is just it was life changing for me because I have the gift of gab. I have the gift. I can talk. My mother goes, I have no idea how you do that. We'll be in the car for like an hour. So my daughter lives an hour away. And she sits there and she says, Mary, I have no idea how you do that. She said, you could just roll off for an hour with no problem. I said, well, blame dad, because I got it from him. He never met a stranger and I can. And she's just this quiet little gal. And so I just have that roll off the tongue, just can talk to anybody. And my husband says, I am so glad you have a place to be able to put your, be able to do the gift of gab. And I have a huge heart. I just have this huge heart for people and a huge heart for nobody ever being by themselves because I've been there, done that. It is miserable. I thought about the first day that my dad, this is a man that has known you for 40 plus years. And he just looked at me and he said, hello, my name is Chuck. And I said, hi, Dad. And he goes, oh, am I your dad? And I go, yeah. Do you know my name? And he goes, no. And I asked him to be, I prayed and I said, be my name the first one that gets lost because my daughter's autistic. I knew she wouldn't be able to handle it. And he did. And I kept it together, ran home, cried in my husband's arms. But I would have loved to have a place where I could have gone to when everybody was asleep. And I remember having a lot of trouble sleeping that night. And having a place to just say in the chat, friends that I knew, a community that I knew to say, my dad forgot my name today. Today's been a really hard day. Or my daughter has had 3 autistic meltdowns today and I'm really tired and, so forth. Or my daughter got diagnosed with diabetes. Here's another thing. And there wasn't anything there like that. I didn't want to burden my family. They were already dealing with enough. I try to be a spiritual person. I also try to keep an open mind. And that's what I do as well, because I don't want to ever trigger anybody. I have this belief, maybe it's the wrong belief, I don't know, but it's my belief, that if you are a Christian, you can sit there and decide that you're going to either influence people and maybe show them that part in love, because you're not going to accomplish anything by hitting them over the head with the Bible. If they're going to see that, then he's going to plant it. And it's my job to be loving and respectful and honoring to them. Well, thank you for stopping on in. I appreciate it. Welcome to the crew here. We say that we are blessed. You guys are the blessings behind Blessed to Crochet, and keep crocheting a connection. And thank you everybody who has shown on up today. I appreciate it. I just don't think that we're going to get anywhere doing that. I really don't. And I don't want to turn any of the people that I have met on the boat. And the boat, the gentleman that runs the boat started, and of course it's a team of people, but Tommy, he was very Pacific. I believe this, but I don't want to ever stop anybody from coming in here because I believe this, who I can help to be, to get sober. And if I put this in, I may deter people that don't believe that from help to get sober and clean. And I won't do that. So we just refrain from that. And I thought that was a good way to be. Yeah, different perspectives, absolutely. 100%. And like here's a perfect example. And she's, I was raised in a cult, left when I was 11, and I hated all organized religion. Spiritually makes me more sense to me. And that's exactly what I'm trying to get at. And she's one of the mods over on Reese's. If you haven't checked out Reese, check out Reese. She also is a former Scientologist, and I've learned a lot as far as that goes as well. I have a lot of wonderful friends over there. I'm blessed to be a mod over there. And I just, I can tell you this. I get it. I don't question it when people say I came from that. Because if you've come from that, looking at anything related to the Bible is hard. You haven't been shown the Bible. And then we have a lot of people, yes, she is. We have a lot of people too that walk in the name of Christianity and don't walk the walk. Have you ever been in some place and they've gone, well, I'll pray for you. And you think, are you a real Christian? It totally flies off the handle when you say that to somebody. And I don't want to ever stop. To me, I love my brothers and sisters that are going down that road. But I also really love my friends that aren't. Because to me, they're still my friends. And I'm going to show them love. And if they ever do want to come to me and say, there's something different about this girl, I want to know more about that, then I'm open to share. But if we are just real hard-nosed, I just don't think it flies with anybody. That's why I was really hesitant, and my mom and I talked about it, about doing the devotions, but it's such an important part of my day now. It's an important part, I know, of some people's day as they're watching them. But I thought, if I do these live, I'm just going to turn everybody away that's not going to want to watch this. This way they can, and I can still have the ability to share that in a loving manner. And so I've had to walk that very carefully, because I don't want everybody to say, oh, well, she's just turning this channel into, see, it's all about the devotions and everything like that. And it's not. It's about the community. I love each and every one of you. You mean the world to me. Whatever you're walking through. When Brazy Girl walks in this, in my chats, I just smile, because she just says that sunshine emoji, and I smile every time I see her. She's a dear friend of mine. And Resilient Queen's a new friend, and Shell, and Selenon. I mean, I love all these new people coming in, and the people that have been here, thank you for coming on in. I appreciate it. I don't think you're turning anybody away them if they decide to learn from a different perspective. Yes, I don't think so, but I think that if we did devotions live, it very well may, just because of where we rippled off of. And I think it's because I want to make sure that I'm respectful to those people that have rippled off the lifeboat that I know just struggle with that. And I want to talk about topics like boundaries, and I have a great passion for talking about service animals. I'm going to be going on my not my other's keeper, um living my best life after 60. We're going to be talking about service animals. And I also do believe that we as individuals, whether we have if you don't have someone in your family that is autistic, get in front of channels that you can learn all about autism and different kind of things, because you may run into them. I can guarantee you, if you go into a grocery store in Ohio, you're going to run into a cashier that's autistic a couple days a week. And you know, that's my daughter. And amazes me that she could even be a cashier, because I know what it's like to be a cashier. She dares my sunshine. I smile whenever I see Auntie Sunshine. I love it. I got nicknamed Sunshine from the lifeboat. It is something that I've always stuck on to, and it means a lot. And whenever I think of that word, I just kind of smile. Just so you know, Brazy, I appreciate you, my dear friend. So I want to make sure that we're a channel that says, come on in. As long as you're respectful and nice and you participate in the community, we're here. Nobody needs to suffer in silence. And at the same time, we're going to have different perspectives. We're going to have different views of each other, not of each other, of different things and different perspectives. And that's okay. If we at the end can say, that's a really cool person, and yeah, I don't agree with that or that, but I want to get to know them. When we start just eliminating people because, oh, they believe this or they voted for this, we're eliminating some really amazing people. Just in a whole, it's just, we've got to soak up information. And I hope that people will participate in that service dog thing I'm doing with my living my best life. Because I think that there's a lot of people that don't know what to ask, what to say, how to handle it. And you may say, oh, I don't have service dogs. You may run into somebody with a service animal. You never know. But if you don't know exactly which questions to ask and what struggle they went to go and get that service animal, there's a whole different perspective about what it really takes to obtain one, what it takes to train one, what you all should be looking for, all of those things. And it gives a very different perspective. And I think a lot of people don't really understand that there's a big, huge difference between emotional support animals, which Mocha is, and a service dog. Two very different things. And if you're not sitting down, you may want to sit down for this number. At the time when we got my daughter's service dog back in 2012, the cost we had to raise for was $15,000. I am not joking. $15,000. Now, Josh is the next one that needs a service animal. He needs a diabetic service dog. Mocha is an emotional service dog. And for the agency that we wanted to go through, they were going to make us rehome Mocha. And if you don't know who Mocha is, you can go see some of our shorts and go look up the Mocha playlist, and there's shorts in there, and you'll get to see Mocha. This dog, Mocha, has been through heck and high water. And we're just not going to have her go through anything else in life. And I would be too afraid that we would actually, she possibly would not be here if we did that, because it has taken a long time to build trust with this dog. Here's a picture of her. It was her birthday on the 6th. So there's the Mochas. And my husband's like, no. She's my daughter's dog. She's not our dog. She's our grand dog. But my daughter can't have her right now, so we're caring for her. And, in order to be able to get to be able to go through the agency that we could just get the dog for no cost if they would be willing to work with us, because we're beyond about an hour and a half out of their limits for mileage. In order for them to not rehome Mocha, so we could get a service agency to come in here and actually work with Mocha to find the right dog. Sit down again. That is $22,000. I don't have it. I wish I could win the lottery because he'd have a dog tomorrow. $22,000 to $25,000. We got to do something. Because that's just ridiculous that costs that much for anybody to obtain a service dog. And I did it the first time. It was relatively easy, but it's not been so easy this time around. It'll happen when it happens. But do you imagine somebody's faced with a dog that could really assist and help them? And we have a figure of $25,000 for one. It's just, it baffles my mind. So I have a great passion for service dogs. But we here are going to do exactly what I set out to do from day one. We're going to crochet connection to make a beautiful tapestry of connection in order to be able to produce love and pure support. Nobody's going to suffer in silence. And I'm going to say this. I know people are going to be loving, and they have been. They've been so, I thought of it today, and I've just daydream kind of rambling, screaming, that's okay. As I thought about it, I think it was this weekend, and I thought, I have such an amazing community, because there's times where I say, well, I'm going to do this, and then it doesn't happen. And you guys are just so amazing, because there's days I struggle. And I've been doing more struggling the past couple of weeks, and I don't know how long that's going to go on. But I'm going to show up, even in the midst of the struggle, because maybe someone else is going through a struggle. And if I can be here and show on up so that we can be here for each other and crochet that connection, gotta win. There's going to be times when there's going to be times when I'm going to sit there, I have no idea what to talk about. None. That's okay. It's all about, thank you, Resilient Queen, for stopping on in and showing on up. It was a pleasure to have you in my chat. I really enjoyed her chat. If I'm late, or if it's a late night and she's on, I've gone in. It's been neat to go into her chats. Great community she's starting to build. Life is about struggles and not triumphants. Yep. And I know, because I've said it to people, and they keep just saying, Mary, we got your back. We got your back. It's okay. Because this is just, I think if we were in Florida, where I could go see her, I think it would be different, other than waiting for this phone call that I don't know when it's going to come. And I don't know from who it's going to come. The whole situation didn't need to happen. And it did. And it's still hard. I can tell you, honest to goodness gracious, that person ever would call up the phone and want to come back in my life, they'd be about arm's distance length in boundaries. There'd be huge boundaries. I will never trust them again in my life. They're not going to get access to this girl in the way they did before. And knowing my daughter, she wants nothing to do with that person. And to me, that's terribly sad. And I just think my dad would be so upset. Thank God he's not here to see it, because he'd be furious. So I want to do a stream on boundaries. I love the thing that Selena, I think that's how you say her name. And just so you know, I do have a learning disability. So I try to pronounce the names as best I can, but sometimes I don't always do it. Anyway, what is it? I love where she said no is a full sentence. That would be a great stream. That would be a great stream. No is a full sentence, I think, right after the boundaries. I also want to do a stream, which I'm starting to do some research on Greece and Scotland, because those are both of my heritage, and trying to understand the culture of that, to be able to realize that sometimes when you're trying to find common ground, you may struggle because of different cultures. And I think that's a great way to show the different cultures from that on. We're also going to be doing some Elvis live streams, as far as some Elvis knowledge. You can see the picture of Elvis back there. That's why we have the Disco Ball membership, and we have the thank you very much membership, because this girl's an Elvis fan, and that's not going away anytime soon. And so I'm going to do some things about Elvis. There was one where whole story about this airplane that I've got to do, like sit down and really understand the entire thing, because man alive, it's something to be, the whole thing for apparently what happened with it. But I think that there's a lot that can be learned about Elvis and his life and his struggles and everything kind of going in, because that's how I found the lifeboat. Was I went on to someone's channel, and then that's how I found Tommy, and that's how I found my lifeboat family, and I am so grateful. Reese is another community family I have. But guys, if you are looking to get community, and you are either dealing with a chronic illness, or if it's like it is and it's cold weather and you're not able to go outside, or whatever it may be, utilize this. Get on YouTube and find those live communities. You've hooked up with a couple in the chat tonight. Get in with those live communities and start talking. If you are a content creator, and start going into people's channels, don't look at their name first. Remember, we're not doing that this year, right? We're going to go ahead and look at you need to go and look at their content first. Start off with their lives, start off with their community tab, then their live, then their lives, then go to their videos, then go to their shorts, then go to the name. Last thing you need to look at. But start going into their shorts and leave your name on those shorts and those videos, because you are leaving your footprint. And there could be somebody going into those shorts and those videos going, oh, I want to find out about that channel. Oh, they made a nice comment. Let me go check out their channel. That's what I do. And I find some great communities that way. My cousin is named after Lisa Marie. I've been to Graceland. You need to go. Oh, I've been there, done that. I've been there 3 during Elvis weeks and 1 during non-Elvis week. My dad was a first-class petty officer in the Navy, and he would do a Naval Reserve. And we went to New Orleans with my mom. And this was before phones, guys, and you can look up and see stuff. And there was this little thing down in there in the hotel lobby, and it would click over and it tells you how many miles it was to Graceland. And I got this wild hair up my tail end, and I thought, well, you know what? I'll go see if I could, because it was like 399 miles, something like that. I thought, I'll never be this close again, right? And so I said something to my mom, and my mom says, well, you should ask your dad. And we went to the base to go pick him up, and I'll never forget all these cars coming out of the base as they were leaving in training duty. And we were going to the Superdome to do a tour. And I just spent about the whole time from the time we left the Naval Reserve training duty to the time we actually got to the Superdome. And I said to my dad, he said, Mary, just come out with it. I said, Dad, can we go to Graceland this weekend? Because he didn't have anything the weekend. And he pulled out his briefcase, and in his briefcase were tickets already done to Graceland. They were going to put me in the car that morning, give me the almanac, and tell me, here, figure out where we're going. And we went to Tennessee. And I'll never forget getting there at nighttime and trying to look, because it used to be, it still is, that Graceland's over here, like over here, and then over here, over here is kind of like the buildings and stuff, and over here was Graceland. Oops. And so I remember sitting there saying to myself, oh, where is Graceland? Because I wanted to see it. I couldn't find it. The next day I was like, oh, Mary, it's across the street. It is the most peaceful place. And if you understand that Elvis moved 21 times, I can't imagine doing that. I mean, I've moved a handful of times, but not 21 times. 21 times in his 20 years. And by the time he was going to Graceland, he's like, I'm done. And that's why he never moved again. And two, he bought it for his mama. He was very close to his mama. He wouldn't have left there for nothing. But it is a very different mansion than some of these other mansions. You know, you go into some of the other ones, and yes, it's actually quite quaint. I would 100% agree with that. You go into some of these other mansions, and you see them I haven't been in them, but you see them on the things, and the people are people are going in, and you're sitting there going, they just seem so, I don't know. They just seem, they just seem, I don't know. They seem cold, and Graceland is far from that. It was always very tiny. It was also very small. It was quaint. And if you kind of are on top of the hill where you kind of go down where the horses ride, the horses run out from the stable, you just sit there. It is so peaceful. You know why he loved it. And there's a lot of misconceptions about Elvis and who he was and all of those things. A lot of unknown stuff about him that from a fan's perspective, I'd like to dive into. I want to do it in a respectful manner, but I want to have some Elvis content on here. One day, I don't have grandchildren yet, but one of these days maybe I'll do. So if they're listening to this one day when they're maybe 18 down the road, right? Just know your grandma loves you and she's been praying about you before you were born. But maybe they'll listen to some of their grandma stories and the Elvis content. Check him out. He was untrained. One of the gentlemen that did his all of his singing and stuff, and not singing, but all of the band stuff, said he was the most untrained, perfect ear he'd ever come across in his entire life. We have 13. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm hoping one of these days. I've said to quietly, I said my son-in-law, I only have one. We only have one child. And I said to my son-in-law, do me a favor. No, I didn't say that. Wait, back the track. I didn't say do me a favor. I said he was one of three brothers. So they had all boys. And I said, I didn't say to my son-in-law, I've said it to the Lord. I will take any healthy grandchild. Doesn't matter. But I've just said quietly, Lord, can you just give me one girl? I'll just take one girl, please, that happens to love to crochet, and we'll be good. Plus, I think every daughter or dad needs to have a girl, especially if they've been raised with three other brothers. But I've just said, I'll take any, but just one girl, please, just one girl. And apparently that's not something that runs in their family a lot. Uh, his brother has had a girl, but they've had a lot of boys, very heavily boy oriented. And I say, Lord, please, just one girl, this one. This is my little secret wish. So we'll see. But my daughter's not ready yet, and she's ready mentally. She's just not ready physically. There's some things she needs to get in check. She's trying to get some, lose some weight and so forth before she has a child, and they want to be in a good place to have one. And whenever they do, I will be thrilled to death. And boy, am I going to have some intelligent grandbabies. Because my daughter is very smart, and so is my son-in-law. Boy, he's just, both of them are intelligent. Yes, he will. He will. I'm waiting patiently. I didn't think my daughter was going to get married because of the autism. I thought nobody's going to put up with this kid. You know what I mean? And not only did she got married, she got married to a really good guy. And it's been amazing to kind of watch him soften, a little bit as time goes by. I think any guy kind of softens when you get married. There's just a softening that happens, when they just, they change. And he's just softened himself, and he's a hardworking guy. I'm blessed to call him my son-in-law. I love him. I've told him he's like one of my kids. And every once in a while, they'll come over for holidays and we'll sit there and say, I'll sit there and say, kids are coming over. But I'm not changing that. See, Sandy, I finally took down the Christmas decoration and put some hearts up. It was about time for the hearts to go up. So I just thought, I don't know about you, but I've kind of had this daydreaming kind of day, and I really need to get the thing recorded, but I'm just sitting there thinking if it doesn't happen tonight, I'm not going to push it. I need to get it. I need to go and do it with Mama, but we'll see. I'm trying really hard to, we had, for those that don't know, we had a computer that for the past year I've been running off of the old computer, and I would have never, even though for some reason it's a black screen. Usually there's purple flowers behind me, but not today. They didn't want to show up today. I guess they were sleeping just like I wanted to do today, right? And so anyway, I said to my son-in-law, who's great, he can build like computers. And I said, well, I'd rather you build me a computer and then I have Geek Squad right in my backyard. And that's going to be just a cost we can't afford for a while. And so I said to him during Christmas time, I said, what do you think about just getting a computer that I can get off of eBay and something that I can get for like $90 or something just to go online? And that way I can do things and I don't have to, be here in the stream. And then poof, Mary's gone for about 5 minutes till the computer decides to let me go back in it. And we did. And so I have no excuse not to sit here and get him recording, because like we went to church on Sunday and I think I spent 5 minutes to turn the computer on. I'm like, oh, it just popped right on. And we do take a break shout outs every day. And I forgot I needed to do them. So I put 3 up real quick. And I was like, man, I couldn't have done that with the other computer. It would have taken a half an hour just to warm that up. So I just need to sit and do them. One of my grandsons is autistic nonverbal. He is brilliant. I don't have much to say. He doesn't have much to say. He is even driving now, blows my mind. Well, that is, you know what I mean? I think sometimes with these kids that have autism, we tend to put limits on them when we shouldn't put limits on who they can be. They can be amazing individuals. And, they're going to act differently. They're going to act. I remember when Christina was, we were doing like a going away party, and my friend had an autistic individual, a son, and he was like 7. Now, understand, if my daughter was that age and we went into a house with a dog, she'd have been all over that dog for the entire party. And she said to me, yes, they are all different and special in their own way. Absolutely. She would have absolutely been all over that dog. And so we went to the party. They went to the party, and they said, my friend said to me, we just got done at the jump place on a Saturday with him before we came here. I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. Never would have happened with Christina. So they were there for about an hour before they left. And at the very end, he came over to Jordan, who was laying on the bed, and just went to his nose, boop, for 30 seconds. That was it. It was all he wanted. He looked at him, but he just touched him for about 30 seconds, boop, and that was it. And Jordan wanted to go near this boy because he's a trained autistic service dog. He gravitated, he wanted, but we didn't do that because the boy didn't want that. But I'm like, my daughter would have come in and literally just laid on the floor with that dog for the entire time. It was so different to see the interaction between this little boy with an autistic service dog and then my daughter. It was just unbelievable to see it. And I'm like, they're amazing individuals. They're amazing. So, I just think sometimes we put limits on them, and then we don't understand. And we do have a Facebook group if you're interested. If you go to our link tree, just so people know, there's a lot of cool stuff on our link tree. There is all of our connections, all of our connection, our Facebook groups for connections. And then if anybody would like to, this is a mama request, if you're not subscribed, that is my daughter's channel I just dropped, Chrissy's Cosplay Wardrobe. My daughter loves doing cosplay. So if anybody hasn't subscribed to that channel yet, go and subscribe. I know she'll appreciate it. And so I know that she just loves doing cosplay stuff. So the link tree has all of our information. It has her website, and it also has a shop area. And on that shop area has different some of our actual awesome show. Some of our awesome some of our things from our fourth wall store, as well as some of our Amazon links. We have there is my favorite things, Mama's favorite things, Josh's favorite things, some of Mocha's favorite things, Christina's favorite things. What else? There's craft things. There's some diamond art stuff. There is some paint pour material things if you guys are looking for that. I just put a purse that I love, the lug purses. And I actually just put one of my favorite things on there. That is the next purse I want to get. It's a lug purse. That's the only purse I buy, and they last. I bought my last lug purse like 3 or 4 years ago, and it's still tramping along, but it's probably the next purse I get. There's some Elvis stuff on there. Our glue guns on there. So it's I just ordered like one of those little grinders for the feet. I have a little thing because sometimes I get my grandmother's feet, and sometimes I'll get really bad calluses on them, and especially on the bottom, and then they'll crack and they hurt. So I ordered one of those things that are electric, so I don't have to sit there with the pummel stone because it hurts my hands after a while. So if I keep it up, my feet don't hurt. So I put one of those on there. So if you check out our link tree, it's got different kind of links. It's got the place we order our coffee from because it's just the best. And then we have a whole shop side. And then I also told people, if you have a channel and you want to send some things over, here's our email address. Because like Kristen Melinda had something, and so she sent it over to us, and we made her favorite favorite things on the Linktree store. And we put her channel on the one side. If you want to send anything over that you find that you love from Amazon, and you have affiliate links, then we just ask that, if you send 2 or 3 over, we can make one of them our affiliate links just for placing it on our link tree. And then, like I did with Kristen Melinda, I actually put I have Reese's link too for her YouTube channel. I put our YouTube channel on there. So just something to think about. Great thing to do if you would like to do so. We're all about trying to grow and trying to connect. And Josh was so sweet. I also put it on there. For those mama bears out there, Josh got me a mama bear cup. It was so cute. It's this purple mama bear cup, and it is adorable. And I actually was thinking about getting it. I was going to get it, and I was going to get the mama bear thing, and I just kept putting it off. And then he got it for me as an early Valentine's Day gift, and it was so cool. So it was so cool. So, because I drink like 30 ounces of coffee in the morning. So I have my new mama bear cup, and I love it. And I said to Christina, guess what? I'm never going to stop being your mama bear. So he was sneaky. He saw that I had it in I just dropped the link for the cup if anybody is looking for it's like purple sparkle, because I love purple. I'm a purple girl. That's why usually the purple's up, but it's not up today. And so forth, and sparkle and everything. And so he saw that I was interested in getting it, so he got it, and then he gave it to me as an early Valentine's Day gift. I thought it was so sweet. I was like, thank you. I said, how'd you know I wanted that? He said, because I saw that you put it in your list, and I knew. And I didn't think he knew that he looked it up or something. He knew something how I wanted it, but he ordered it. And so there's the Amazon affiliate link. Mama gets it, and all goes over to her. But so if you have any links and you have some great things or ones that you want to share with our community, just send them over. And if you don't want to be bothered with the Amazon links, I'll make it. And if they're really cool products that you really enjoy and that are helpful to you and you want to share with the community here, go right ahead. We'll be glad to do that. There's Sandy Wendy dropping the emojis. And we added 2 Valentine's Day one on there recently. And we are going to do a Valentine's Day stream on the 14th, which is Friday. I did ask Mr. Bluster Crochet to take me out to lunch. Reese is on. All right. I will head over, Shell. I'm just going to play this, and then I'll go over to Reese and Maud. And actually, she is on right now, so we can go raid her in a minute. Let me go set that up real quick. Tell her Blessed to Crochet rated you. All right, I'm going to play this real quick, and this is for our channel members. It is never expected, but it is appreciated. It does help out. So here we go.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Give me a minute. I will see if I can set it up so I can raid over. I don't have many people to raid over to Reese, but we'll do it anyway, right? I've always wanted to do that for her. So hold on a second. Yeah, hold on a minute. Let's see. See if we can get it. Let's see. Be nice when I can do it. Let's see. Yes. I have to go over there, mod. Does she not have it set up? She may. Or relatable. Let's look at relatable Reese. If I can spell, I can't spell. Does she not have it in? Or you have to set it up to allow it. No, she doesn't allow it. Well, I will have to ask her to fix that for me. I'll have to ask her to. I'll have to ask her to give me permission to redirect people over there because I'd love to be able to do that and help her out. Anyway, you all, thank you for you lifted my spirits tonight. We had a good talk. It was a daydream kind of afternoon for me, and I appreciate it. I'm going to go head over to Reese. If you're not subscribed, go over there, head over and tell her Blessed to Crochet sent you. And again, I will do the devotions hopefully in a little bit. And we'll get them done with Mama. If not, then I'll just do it tomorrow. And I know people will understand. So we'll see you over at Relatable Reese. Remember, stay connected, everybody. It's so important. Let's crochet connection. Remember, be proud of being yourself because everyone else is taken. And remember, we got you covered. Thank you so much for having us covered. We'll see you on the next one. Talk to you later. Bye-bye, everybody.
So proud.